ENS191 Engineering Economy Module 7 Depreciation Methods. So for this lesson, we will be discussing what is depreciation and what are the different types of depreciation approach or methods. So it is important to understand what is the depreciation methods and also learn how to solve problems involving depreciation. So depreciation is the decrease in the value of physical property with the passage of time. So I hope familiar kayo kung ano yung depreciation. Say for example, a laptop. So you bought it for say 30,000. So every year nagde-decrease yung value niya. Say 5,000 naging 25,000 yung value niya kasi nag-decrease din yung um, nagde-deteriorate din physically yung property. So that is depreciation. So next is the market value of a property is the amount which a willing buyer will pay to a willing seller for the property where each has equal advantage and is under no compulsion to buy or sell. So that is yung market value. So that is yung um, uh, the price that the property you bought. So yun yung price niya or market value. So next is the utility or used value. So um, of a property is what the property is worth to the owner as an operating cost. Then fair value is the value which is usually determined by a disinterested third party in order to establish a price that is fair for both seller and buyer. And then book value, so or sometimes called depreciated book value. So is the worth of a property as shown on the accounting records of an enterprise. So book value is the present value of a property. Say for example, as I was saying the laptop. So you bought it for 30,000. So after 2 years, it has depreciated into 20,000. So at that current year, the book value of your um, laptop is 20,000. So, in other cases, salvage value or resale value is the price that can be obtained from the sale of the property after it has been used. So, for example, the laptop usually lasts for 5 years. So, after 5 years, the book value of the laptop or which is called salvage value is ilan na ba yun? So 5 years, 5,000 per year, 5,000 na lang. So salvage value or resale value of your laptop is now 5,000 after 5 years. So that is also the book value at the end of its lifespan. So next is scrap value is the amount the property would sell for if disposed of as junk. So parang na yan, parang yung physical material na lang yung binili doon, yung mga parts niya, so ganun. So, hindi na siya nagagamit. That is scrap value. So, kung sa ano pa, parang ididang na lang. Physical life of a property is the length of time during which it is capable of performing the function for which it was designed and manufactured. So, for example, yung laptop, usually, as I've said kanina, 5 years yung physical life niya. So hanggang 5 years na is medyo functioning pa siya without upgrading. So that is the physical life of laptop. But for upgrading, so when you are upgrading a certain property, so you are increasing its value and also its physical life. So economic life is the length of time during which the property may be operated at a profit. So this is referring to like mga machines. So there are certain lifespan for a machine. So but it is related to the use or the profitability of that machine. So hanggang functioning pa siya, napoproduce pa niya yung estimated production rate niya is within the economic life pa siya. But after that, hindi na meet yung production rate is doon na nag-end yung economic life ng property. So we will first identify what are the variables or symbols involved in different depreciation methods. So there are different depreciation methods, but these variables are present sa lahat ng method na yun. So we shall use the following symbols for the different depreciation methods. So L is the useful life of the property in years. So that is yung useful life niya. Then C sub O is the original cost or yung first value or yung market value nung buying cost niya. So yung binili mo siya, yung anong price niya, yung brand niya pa yung property. CL is the value at the end of the life or the scrap value or the salvage value. And then D is the annual cost of depreciation. Then C sub N is the book value at the end of N years. Say for example, life niya is 10 years. So what is the book value at 7 years? So that is the CN. And DN is the depreciation up to the age and year. So could be the depreciation at its third year or fifth year na ginagamit siya. Okay, so you should familiarize yourself with these symbols or variables. So first method here is straight line method. So in this method, it assumes that the loss in value is directly proportional to the age of the property. So here are the formulas. So D or the depreciation every year is the original cost minus the cost or value at the end of its life, and L is the lifespan. So D sub N is N times C sub O minus CL over L, and Cn is CO minus Tn. That is the book value at the end of N years is the original cost minus the depreciation at N years. So this is the three values. So ito yung pinaka simple na or pinaka basic na depreciation method, kasi yung depreciation niya each year is equal or linear sa lahat ng years. So identify mo lang kung ilan yung depreciation, then every year magsasubtract ka ng depreciation niya. Okay, so example. So an electronic balance costs 90,000 and has an estimated salvage value of 8,000. So salvage value is the book value at the end of its lifespan at the end of 10 years. So after 10 years daw, the 90,000 na electronic balance is worth 8,000 pesos na lang. Then what would be the book value after 3 years using the straight line method in solving the depreciation? So first is we identify the given. So C sub O is 90,000 pesos. CL or the book salvage value or scrap value is 8,000 pesos, and then the L is 10 years, and N we are looking here for the value at after 3 years nung binili siya. Okay, so depreciation, we'll find the depreciation muna. Annual depreciation, that is CO minus CL over L. So that is 90,000 minus 8,000 over 10. So this is equals to 8,000 200. So every year, the electronic balance is nagde-depreciate siya or nagde-disvalue siya ng 8,200 every after 1 year. Okay, so yung hinahanap natin dito is on the third year. So on the third year, n equals D3 is n times the annual depreciation. So at the after 3 years, the total depreciation cost is 3 times 8,200. So this will be 24,600 pesos. Now we are looking for the book value after 3 years. So book value is equals to C sub O minus D3. So 90,000 minus 24,600. So the book value after 3 years is 65,000 pesos. So for example, ibibenta mo pa siya after naisipan mo na ibibenta mo yung electronic balance mo after 3 years. So yung worth pa niya is 65,400. But after 10 years, 8,000 na lang siya. So siguro sira na siya or hindi na siya gumagana ng maayos. Hindi na siya pwede ma-repair. So that is the scrap value na or yung salvage value. So next method is the sinking fund formula. So in this method, assumes that a sinking fund is established in which fund will accumulate for replacement. So the total depreciation that has taken place up to any given time is assumed to be equal to the accumulated amount in the sinking fund at that time. Okay, so this is formula based. So annual depreciation is C sub O minus CL over 1 plus I to the power of L minus 1 over I. So nag-involve na siya ng interest. And total depreciation at n years is the annual depreciation multiplied by 1 plus I to the n minus 1 over I. So parang ano to, yung compound. Since depreciation is annual, so parang yung annuity. So itong part na to. CN, okay, so book value at n years is CO minus D sub n. So let's have some formula. Example. So a firm bought an equipment for 56,000 pesos. So this is the CO. So other expenses including installation amounted to 4,000. The equipment is expected to have a life of 16 years with a salvage value of 10% of the original cost. Determine the book value at the end of 12 years by first straight line method and B sinking fund method at 12% interest. Okay, so first yung given natin. So CO is 56,000 pesos plus meron tayong additional cost that is for installation. So that is at the 0 year pa. So kasali siya sa magiging original cost natin. So 44,000. So CO will be 60,000 pesos. And then CL or the salvage value is 10% of the original cost. So that is 60,000 multiplied by 10%. So this will be 6,000 pesos. And then L is 16 years. We are looking at the 12 years. And I is 12% for the. Okay, so for the straight line method, so first is we'll find the annual depreciation, that is CO minus CL over L. So this is 60,000 minus 6,000 over 16. So annual depreciation is 3,375 pesos. So at D12, or the total depreciation at the 12 year, is N times D. So that is 12 times 3,375. This is equals to 40,500 pesos. So yung hinahanap natin is the book value at 12 years. At the end of 12 years. So that is CO minus D12. So 60,000 minus 40,500. So the book value at the end of 12 years is 19,500 pesos. So medyo maliit yung value niya since 12 years na siya na ginagamit din naman. Next is the sinking fund method. So first, annual depreciation, CO minus CL over, so that is yung annuity, finding the future amount for 16 years. So this will be 60,000 minus 6,000 over, so that is 1 plus I to the L minus 1 over I. So I have introduced this notation sa previous module natin. So okay, so a formula natin. So 1 plus 0.12 to the power 16 minus 1 over 0.12. So this will be equals to 1,263. So this is uniform for every year. So but with interest. So sa straight line method, depreciation per year is 3,375. But for the sinking fund method is 1,263 lang. Okay, so the total depreciation at the end of 12 years is D multiplied by D, in formula 1 plus I, or this notation, but N is 16. So power of N minus 1 over I. So this is 1,263 times 1.12 to the power of 12 minus 1 over 0.12. So total depreciation at the end of 12 years is 30,480. So hindi mo tayo multiply ng 12 years. So kailangan dumaan ka ng formula since this is a sinking fund involving interest of 12%. So book value at the end of 12 years is CO minus D12. So meron tayong 60,000 minus 30,480. C12 is equals to 29,520. So sa sinking fund formula, medyo mataas yung value niya compared dun sa straight line method. So may difference siya na 10,000. So because that is involving interest. So pag nagkaroon ng interest yung isang property or nag-involve siya ng interest, so lumalaki din yung value niya. Okay, so next is the declining balance method. So in this method, it is assumed that the annual cost of depreciation is fixed percentage of the salvage value at the beginning of the year. So the ratio of the depreciation in any year to the book value at the beginning of the year is constant throughout the life of the property and is designated as K. So iba-iba yung depreciation niya per year depende dun sa current value niya on that year. So, meron tayong D1, D2, D3, Dn hanggang D depreciation at the end of its life. Okay, so declining balance is like this. So first, at the first year, beginning of first year, the book value of the beginning of the, so syempre yung book value pa niya is the original cost. So the depreciation is K multiplied by C sub O. So that is a certain percentage of the cost at the beginning of the year. So dito naman sa D2, percentage of C1. So nag-iiba-iba siya kasi it depends on the value at that specific year. So book value at the end of the year is CO minus D1. So of course, or CO times 1 minus K. So considering this series of formulas, so we'll be given that dn is equals to C sub O times 1 minus K to the n minus 1 over K. So that is the depreciation at any year. So could be at the first year, second year, third year. So depende kung ano year yung hinahanap. Cn is equals to C sub O times 1 minus K to the n, or C sub O times CL over Cn to the power of n over L, and CL is CO times 1 minus K to the power of L, where K is 1 minus the nth root of Cn over CO, or equals to Lth root of Cl over CO. So root to the power of L. Okay, so let's solve some problems. So a certain type of machine loses 10% of its value each year. The machine costs 2,000 originally. So ito yung book value at the beginning of the year. So make out the CO. So make out a schedule showing the yearly depreciation, the total depreciation, and the book value at the end of each year for 5 years. Okay. So, meron tayong 5 years. So, at the beginning of the year, it is worth 2,000 pesos. So, the depreciation of during the year is, so nabigay siya ng 10% loss of its value each year. So, 10% of 2,000 is 200. So, this is multiplied by 10%. So, magiging 200 siya. So, the depreciation at the end of, total depreciation at the end of the year for the first year is 200 pa. So, the book value would be 2,000 minus 200. So, that is 1,800 pesos. So, now, this value will be the book value at the second year. So now the 10% of 1/8 is 180. So 1,800 minus 180. Total depreciation is 380 na siya. So that is 200 plus 180. So the book value at the end of year 2 is 1,620 na lang. So 1,620. So i-repeat lang natin yung process. So mahirap yung formula kanina, but pag isosolve mo na siya in a tabulated form, mas madali siyang isolve. Okay, so 10% of 1,620 is 162. So the total depreciation is 542. So the book value at the end of third year is 1,458 pesos. So repeat the process. 7.80 1,312.20. So for the last year or the fifth year, 1,312.20, that is the book value at the beginning of the year of fifth year. So 10% ng 1,312 is 131.22. So the total depreciation, overall total is 819.12. So the book value at the end of 5 years is 1,180.98 na lang. So yan yung book value at 5 years. So that is for declining balance method. So next is the double declining balance method. So this is the fourth method. So in this method is very similar to the declining balance method, except that the rate of depreciation is replaced by 2 over L. So meron siyang uniform na percentage of depreciation. So yung sa previous is depende sa given, but this time relative siya sa length of its physical life ng property. So dn is equals to C sub O times 1 minus 2L over N minus 1 times 2 over L. Cn is C sub O times 1 minus 2 over L to the N. So, na-replace lang yung K ng 2L. So, Cl is CO times 1 minus 2 over L to the power of L. So, when double declining balance method is used, the salvage value should not be subtracted from the first cost when calculating depreciation charge. Okay, so maano tayo sa example natin. Okay, so determine the rate of depreciation, the total depreciation up to the end of 8th year, and the book value at the end of 8 years for an asset that costs 15,000 new and has an estimated scrap value of 2,000 at the end of 10 years. So by DBM or the double declining balance method and DBB or double declining balance method. So first is yung given natin. So CO is 15,000 pesos, and then CL is 2,000 pesos, and L is 10 years, N is at 8 years. Okay, so by declining balance method, so K is, so we will utilize the formula 1 minus Lth root of CL over CO. This is equals to 1 minus the 10th root of 2,000 over 15,000 pesos. So this is equals to 0.1825 or 18.25%. Okay, so that is 18.25% yung K natin. So the C8 or the book value at the end of 8 years is C sub O minus 1 minus K to the power of 8. So this is 15,000 1 minus 18.25% or 0.1825 power of 8. So C8 is equals to 2,992 pesos. So at the end of 8 year, the book value at the end of 8 years is 2,992. Okay, so total depreciation is CO minus C8, which is equals to 15,000 minus 2,992. D8 is equals to 12,008 pesos. So after 8 years, na-depreciate na value niya is 12,008. So, nawala na yung amount na yun. Okay, so for double declining balance method, So the rate of depreciation, so rate is equals to 2 over L. So that is 2 over 20. No, 2 over 10. So this is equals to 0.2 or 20%. So medyo mas malaki siya compared dito. So C8 or the book value at the end of 8th year is 1 minus 2L to the power of 8. So this is 15,000 times 1 minus 2 over 10 power of 8. So the book value at the end of 8th year is 2,517. So compared to the double declining balance, medyo malit na siya. And then total depreciation is CO minus C8. So 15,000 minus 2,507. So the total depreciation at the end of 8 years is 12,483. So yan yung na-depreciate na value niya. So that's it for the double declining balance method. So last method is sum of the years digit or SYD method. So this is relative to the number of years. So madali lang to. So first is let DN be the depreciation charge during the nth year, and where DN is solved by multiplying the depreciation factor to total depreciation, and DN is the reverse digit over sum digit times CO minus CL. So to explain further, so for example, meron kang 5 years. So year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the sum of digit is 15. So you will reverse the order of the digit. So first year to 5 year pababa. So 1 is to 5, 2 is to 4. So babaliktarin mo lang siya. I-reverse mo lang yung order. So to find the depreciation factor, you will divide the year in reverse order over the sum of the digits. So that is 5 over 15, 4 over 15, 3 over 15, 2 over 15, and 1 over 15. So as you can see, merong mataas yung depreciation factor at the first year. Hanggang sa pababa ng pababa siya. So the depreciation during a certain year is the depreciation factor. Ito siya. So this is the depreciation factor multiplied by CO minus CL. So ganun din sa remaining years. So example, a structure costs 12,000 new. So bago siya. It is estimated to have a life of 5 years with a salvage value at the end of life of 1,000. So salvage value niya after 5 years is 1,000. So determine the book value at the end of each year of life. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So the sum of digit is equals to 15. So i-reverse natin yung 5 years. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So to find the depreciation factor, you multiply the ratio or depreciation factor 5 over 15 multiplied by CO minus CL. So CO minus CL is equals to 12,000 minus 1,000. So or that is 11,000 pesos. So this is 3,667. So 4 over 15 multiplied by 11,000. 3 over 15 multiplied by 11,000. 2 over 15, 11,000, and 1 over 15, 11,000. So the depreciation for every year is 3,667 for first year, 2,133 for second year, 2,200 for at the end of third year, and 1,457 at the end of fourth year, and 733 at the end of 5 years. So you will subtract the depreciation every year dun sa CO natin. So that is 12,000 minus 3,667 is 8,333. So minus, so that this is 12,000 minus 3,667 is 833. Then minus 2,933. This will become 5,400 minus 2,200, 3,200 minus 1,467, 1,733, and at the end of 5 years, the book value is 1,000. So it should be equal to the given book value at the end of its life. So meaning correct yung solution natin. So ganun lang. So it is an easy process in finding the depreciation. So that's it for the 5 methods. References. So that ends our module 7. So I hope you will watch this lecture video. So medyo bibilisan natin yung modules natin kasi we only have 2 weeks to finish, so that is until early July. So unfortunately, our this sem is maiksi lang siya, so that is 3 months. So nag-start tayo ng April. So April, May, June, then early July lang. So thank you for listening and have a good day.